where we are going to begin. Just reminding everyone where they are. So, Warden is facing the halls. Atan and Gorsh, you are welcome to be with him if you want, but you guys were last in the cafeteria.
No. To your guys' perspective, he already knows, but your guys' perspective, we had sat down, you guys had sat down to start eating at the mess hall. I had laid out a bunch of some shit that I was tinkering with on our skiff. And then as soon as I finished laying it out, Warden just immediately sits up like this and just deadpan straight ahead. And then after like 2 minutes, he just packs all his things up and then just starts pacing the hallway. So I didn't do anything. That's what just happened. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
knowing.
And the rest of the group, including Mikhail and his sister Shayla, Nari, Drake, along with Dog, all went back to the ship to rest for the evening. So,
Girl, you better start rolling better.
she hasn't rolled double digits.
Yes, I did. My very first one was a 12.
So is there any of
Double digits.
Ship sleepers? Is there anything you guys wish to do
Ship
before
sleeper.
taking a long rest?
Sounds like it's...
I don't think so, actually.
I'm looking.
I'll look to see if I wrote down anything.
No.
I don't think so.
No. Alright, let me set this up.
Oh, that's a baseball.
Cannot think so.
Do not
Check on Dog.
check on Dog.
Dead.
What
Dog
is-
is dead.
What is the dog doing?
The dog
Dead.
is doing your mom.
Doing your mom. Doing your mom.
The dog is seemingly not necessarily stunting in his growth, but slowing finally. He's a little bit larger than the size of what would generally be conceived as a regular sized horse. As the wyverns are with the two back legs and the front claws attached to their wings. I mean, what do you guys, is there anything specific you want to know about Dog, or just the fact that he's still there?
As a druid and someone who's read a book on biology, would I be able to tell if he is healthy for his age, as if he is as big as he needs to be?
Okay, can you repeat the back half of that question again? Jack just dumped pizza on my floor.
Oh, that's what that was.
It leaped off the plate, Zach. It grew legs.
No, you didn't leave weight
I
over.
just want to see if
I know,
Dog
right,
is as big as he needs to be for his species.
For his age, you don't know how old Dog is. Dog was in a pretty much incubation chamber when you guys found him.
Right.
And
That's true.
You should ask Doug how old he is.
That's a great idea.
I could do that. I'm gonna cast. I can't do it actually because he's a dragon, and that's not a beast. I can't talk with him. I forgot about that.
You have ruled that before.
Yeah. So I guess. Can I tell about how old he is based on how big he is?
you would say a wyvern of this size. Go ahead and just roll me a, let's say either a history or a nature check. Probably a nature. Let's go with nature.
Nature's +1. I'm the druid.
Never seen a druid.
I rolled a 3
Oh my god.
total.
You would say he's probably about a month and a half old.
Oh, really?
Wait,
Okay.
we've had him for a month and a half.
I know. Exactly. That makes no sense.
Yeah, you would say he's probably
so
sitting.
I'm guessing that's like something he thinks to himself. He's like, about a month and a half. I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't make. I actually don't. And that's his conclusion.
Introduction. How old is he? Mid-piece. He's probably about a month and a half. Conclusion. I'm dumb as shit. In conclusion, I know nothing.
Normal conclusion.
Maybe I know more if he was an animal, but then again, my nature's only +5, so.
That is fair. So nothing from Mike.
Alright, that's it. Go to bed.
Me
Long
when,
rest.
I say
Yeah.
YouTube to the
No.
waiter saying
Nari?
enjoy your meal.
Nowry.
I'm
You
gonna
might
take
cast
first
a
watch.
9mm.
I don't like being around.
Oh, you're gonna take a watch?
I'm gonna take a watch because I don't like
Okay.
being around them. I'll just like sit up and like pretend I'm reading a book and really I'm writing out my insurance plan.
No fucking hell.
Oh yeah, because I forgot you have a really good
I love it.
concept of insurance.
I'm gonna write all
Oh,
the
boy.
insurance plans I plan to offer, and basically how I'm gonna set up my business.
Oh mother.
Okay. What is Nari's
gun
procedure here? Like, what does she intend to do?
Nari has no fucking clue, but Nari wants to feel like she can contribute somehow.
Please stop flashing my camera.
Besides just
Thomas, stop.
Okay.
Flash him.
Flash me instead.
I don't know. Nari knows a lot about
He's pulling
insurance,
his
but
cock out.
nothing about running a business. So she'd probably actually come up with some questions about how Jack, for example, started his the tavern,
I probably has.
and yeah, list of questions for how to start a business when I get back, and then kind of go with my.
So what do you
knowledge of
count
insurance.
as tax write-offs in your business?
Food. Slaves.
Oh, yeah. Last session, she decided she's going to make an insurance company for people for business.
Fire insurance?
No,
She's
for,
gonna
No,
do
just
fire
insurance.
insurance?
no, she's
Aw.
going to be doing.
That
She's
was
going to
really
be
fun,
doing
Emergency evacuation
emergency and natural disaster insurance.
That's at least part of the plan that Nari's doing.
You know,
No,
Drake
well,
knows how to run a
that's
business.
The audit that's gonna happen after
How does Drake know how to run a
Darren
business?
extracts is gonna go crazy.
We're just gonna have a one shot and like.
He just does. Roll an
It's
insight.
just insurance.
And it's
you're
just
trying
going to be the IRS chasing down.
Nari. It's just
Wait,
the
does
Dwindalian
Drake,
IRS.
hey, so does Drake come up and say that, or like?
You're doing that out in the open, right? Everyone can see that you're just writing down questions.
Yeah.
Unless you're being secretive about it, don't want people to see it.
No, I'm
For
just
some
putting it
reason.
out in the open. I'm very proud of this idea.
Yeah. So yeah, Drake would go up to you and be like, "Oh, you're making a business? I know a thing or two about that kind of stuff."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What I'm gonna go through my list of questions. So how did you get your business started? What is your business?
You have a business?
What is your business?
What is your business in my business?
Jade?
I said that
You're
he
muted there,
he
sorry.
grows
Trying to
plants.
We
He
haven't
grew
heard
plants
anything
in that
since
one
I asked
city
you a
and
question.
earned a lot of money.
Oh my god. Except bodily functions.
Is this on mine?
Am I mishearing you guys? I'm sorry.
No, it should be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Did-
His audio
did I fail to
seems
answer
be
something?
Going in. I don't know what happened.
Is my audio gone? Can you hear me?
Your mother happened.
No, that's what it is. Okay.
This Jade's still talking.
Test, test,
Yeah, I
test,
think he
test,
just got the
test, test,
realization
test,
that
yeah.
he's
test, test, test,
Okay.
He's
so
actually just repeating.
our
stuff.
audio is still going through.
Testing.
Just retcon his character. Oh.
Ah. Hey.
1, 2, 3. Hello. Yes. Sorry. You guys were legitimately accidentally answering at least two of my questions, and then confused me because I felt like I was being unclear or something.
Oh no.
It's like, oh no, you just couldn't hear me.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
No, Drake says that he in that town back there grew some plants for people, and he made a lot of money. And as the richest person in the party, you gotta trust it.
I think. So
Sus.
how did you go about seeking clientele?
Let's just vote to kick
Basically, you kind of like
just
knock on people's doors and ask if they want something, and then if they want it, then you can give it to them, and they'll pay you.
fucking hate him already.
So Drake went door to door sales. Okay.
Shayla walks in.
Above board, I rolled a 23 deception.
He's a Mormon.
Shayla comes over, interested in this conversation. You're going to need a lot of boots on the ground if you're doing door-to-door sales. We've encountered some door-to-door salesmen, especially some religious types across the plains of this realm.
Psychos.
Exactly.
Well, you see, But where would that manpower come from? Unless I had some capital to begin with, and then
Slavery.
maybe purchase.
That could be an expense. You purchase slaves and then
Fair,
use
write
them
it
as
off.
freedmen
Yes.
in a possible
Pay them
I
as
disagree with
that-
slave part. I disagree with slavery. We should
Yes,
not do
no,
that.
I would
That's
free
not-
them and
no,
then pay
I
them a
didn't like
salary.
As it is still legal here, you could purchase them and then free them.
Yes, no collars. If they don't come back from their route, they don't come back from
So
their
I
route.
freed you, so
Okay.
later you can help me with this.
It's a way for them to make. Oh, you're already breaking
My
shit.
brother, you're breaking my
Peeling the
shit.
wall
It's
already.
a way for them to make funds. However, with no initial investors or investments of any kind.
I
I know what that word means.
Investing in
Drake, would you like to be an investor in my insurance business?
I mean, I got a lot of industry, so I could definitely do something there.
As he's saying that, I'm just gonna like flip you 1 gold and say, dibs on first.
Ah, my first investor. Thank you so much.
You get 1 gold.
1 gold.
Add 1 gold.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. And I'm gonna take your gold out and hand it to you. And it's actually 2 gold. It's like 1 gold and then like this big 2 gold and hand it to you. I'm gonna buy 2 in this investment.
2 investment. You
Investments.
Your return's
Investments.
gonna be
Investments.
1 gold and 3 electric.
So Mike and Drake are already investing in my business. Gold stake. Wonderful, wonderful. So my business starts off with now I need a name. Any ideas?
Narrated insurance.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah, sorry.
Nari's not
Nari.
Nar.
No.
Maybe don't advertise my name as I am a wanted person. Still.
Fire escape planes.
She's a genius! Shayla, I love you. Please work for me.
Sure, as long as Mike's okay with it.
Fuck Mike.
I would rather not. He's my brother.
Hey. I don't think anybody really wants to fuck that, so I don't think you need to
I
be
would be
very
a surprising amount of women. You would be surprised, and even more astounding amount of men.
Actually, that part doesn't stop me at all. I've seen him in the bars.
He gets around.
Wonderful. Alright, fire
Yo,
escape
what
plane.
the fuck is up with my poundage I'm carrying?
Yo, what's your poundage, bro?
How you pounding?
Pounds per minute?
60.2600000000005 pounds.
What?
I wonder what that 0.000000005.
Probably all the
Oh my gosh, mine
leaves
says that
you're
too.
carrying.
What?
Where do I do the inventory, right?
Oh no, that's how much in coin. How much the coins weigh.
Did somebody turn on coin weight in mine?
I have.
I
to
think
weigh
all
mine.
that might have happened for all you guys because I didn't tinker with
I don't
anything.
see coin weight
Fascinating.
on mine.
Whack.
No, it's just my equipment pouch is that way.
Mine's
not
is
my overall weight.
87.5 pounds. Backpack 10, photo pouch, 8 or second.
Nori's gonna be writing all these notes, along with more questions that she doesn't really want to ask Trey.
They're just tweaking.
Okay.
Brother is.
For Jack.
Nice.
Yeah, and then she's gonna take the 3 gold and put it in a separate pouch for.
Gonna put the 3 gold in a separate bag.
Yes, because it's its own account.
Okay.
Trey, how do you open a bank account?
Oh my god.
I need to have
basically
some
you-
sort of banking
I
transaction.
thought you did when you had like a friend who like was part of a religious group or something like that. And they have like an account at the bank, and then you put the money in it by giving to them.
Nori's holding on to every word of this, actually.
Friend, religious, account, bank, got it.
Not Warden.
Mormons.
Do we know any other religious
Not
friends?
Mormons.
Do we know any other?
Well,
religions?
actually, if you
Well,
want,
I've never asked.
it's already quite full.
You guys don't know
And
if
so like maybe using that one, so we don't actually need to figure out how to open an account would be a good idea.
Alright, man.
So now it's gonna be an account under Warden's name.
No. It's gonna be an account under Nari's name.
Then you need to open an account in the bank,
What was the other teleportation circle?
which requires a down payment.
Adventars.
You had Ventures
You're not part of this
Paris
conversation.
Undergrounds.
I can't involve you. Okay.
And you have to show proof of cash flow.
I mean,
You understand insurance? You understand cash flow?
How am I supposed to show proof to a bank that I have had money coming in when I'm wanted by the Empire?
Because you don't actually have any cash flow.
You're only
Sick.
wanted by the
Also
huntsman.
They are not necessarily a disconnected entity.
Yeah.
You're not 100% wanted.
I guess that's fair.
Dolly,
I mean, in the end, the IRS doesn't tell anyone that if you're breaking the law or not. They just want their money.
and then they show up at your doorstep.
If you
The
don't give
IRS
money.
gets their money, they don't care how you
Exactly.
did it.
Factual.
As
It's
long
the
as-
ATF you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for your dog.
Basically, I found out how unregistered.
Especially for your
And
wife.
also deportation.
And child.
Unregistered.
No,
sale.
no, mainly your dog.
And life.
Especially when they see what I'm packing.
Oh,
Especially if you have a
I'm
sniper
just gonna
about
cast
300
banishment on the ATF.
approximately 300 yards away.
Approximately.
Anyways. Alright, Nari's gonna go back to playing.
Okay, so Nari's planning,
Yes.
going, taking first watch, everyone else is going to sleep. Warden,
Yes.
as you wander the halls of the Overkeep Chasm,
Oh no.
where are you wandering around? Are you just around the cafeteria? Are you trying to go down to where the scientists' hold is?
I'd say, because Warden was kind of walking the path between where the scientist hold is and then where, obviously without going up the elevator, but kind of walking that path towards back and forth from the council room that we were in, because he knows that's where
Yeah.
Buddy Boy is in his meeting, and then from the passing by the cafeteria towards the scientist area, and then so he's kind of walking that path a little bit. He's not really focused on what's going on around him, and I'd say he's probably gonna walk that path for like a good 10 minutes.
Good 10 minutes.
I don't know if anything happens in those 10
Okay.
minutes.
Are you guys with him, or are you just chilling in the cafeteria?
Sorry, I'm just still thinking. I'm thinking of Far Cry references every single time he says "walk the path."
Walk the path.
Walk.
Oh, you're over to the.
Tom's looking for snake crack.
What'd you say?
Tom's looking for snake crack.
More than likely.
The crack that almost killed you was from this place.
Why the fuck would I be looking for that? It almost killed me.
So
Yeah, Jason.
is Atan and Gorsh, or are they trying to stay
Okay.
semi-close to Warden?
I'll stay with
Yes, because I know something's fucking going on, and especially seeing the thing that happened where he went for 2 minutes and he just packed everything. I'm like,
Something
I
ain't
know
right.
Warden. Ooh, that
Grabs a big bucket of food, another bucket of ale.
you want some fried chicken?
By the way, the food is, you pretty much kind of attune to the plate, and then
Just
it
gives you whatever you
gives
want.
you whatever you want.
So fried chicken it is then.
Bro turned like the room. What the fuck?
Mine's a fried chicken, watermelon, and purple Kool-Aid specifically.
Of course, the oracle's that.
I just was getting the KFC
And it has
family
Hennessy.
bucket meal.
It has Hennessy in the purple Kool-Aid.
It has Hennessy
Yeah, and
in
the fried chicken.
I
Exactly.
just walk into Warden you want some fried chicken?
You want some fried chicken? Warden just walks by.
Hold up some motor oil or jingle in front of him with some car keys next to it.
Hey, pay attention.
I got
Wait,
the
now we're
skip
gonna be
keys
talking-
in one
pay
hand,
attention.
motor oil in the other.
Just pulls up Subway Surfers. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do.
Oh, jingle.
Okay, I would like all three of you guys to roll me a perception check.
Oh.
Perception, death saving throws yet?
That's a natural 20.
That's a natural 20? Okay.
He's
That
his
is
cock.
an unnatural 20.
You mean
No,
30?
22.
What is the
I have
natural
a
20
plus
bring
3.
it to?
What is a natural 20 for
Is it
Warden?
like
It's
is it
28.
28? Okay.
22 for me.
22. Alright.
Yeah, baby.
A triple.
Just ignore him.
Just ignore him.
You got
So
it.
Don't
Atan
worry
is
about me.
fascinated by the rocks.
I'm fascinated by the fried chicken. Is what
So-
I'm fascinated
Yeah,
by.
and the Hennessy.
Not just the fried chicken.
Warden Gorsh, as Atan is following, just gobbling on that chicken.
Doesn't realize we're going back and forth.
Doesn't realize you guys are pacing. The second time you pace down by the scientist's hold, you peek into the room with like the little window there, and you see it's actually very different. You get a glimpse of it, and then you kind of like turn back and peeking inside. It seems to have cleared most of the room off to the sides, in which it was previously like different areas and workbenches for each of the scientists. It's very cleared in the center, and actually seems to be like a chasm in and of itself that goes down into another level, almost looking like it'll expand out there. And you would assume that's gonna be the place where they're gonna be doing the ritual at some point. Something maybe to ask Dr. Bobberman about later. And just as Warden, in a millisecond, processes this and Gorsh kind of peeks over your shoulder, Warden, you could swear that this path leads quite a bit farther down, around the side towards the absolute bottom of the chasm itself. You're like on level 2, all the way down at the bottom of the chasm. You could swear you heard a muffled scream.
Do I hear this? You said I look over
No.
his shoulder. Okay.
You do not hear this.
I'm just looking in the same direction.
Yeah, you're looking in the same direction like, what the fuck?
All
Why
right.
are there a whole bunch
so
of metal birds in
Warden,
there?
Warden,
Valid question.
pause,
Pause.
and after a couple of seconds, is going to slowly start walking into the scientist room thing, towards that hole, but taking in his surroundings.
Okay, we're going again. Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
you
following.
kind of go
I'm
towards
just-
the
I'm just
door,
not on that fried
and
chicken.
you remember that there was kind of like a scanner or something at the door that Dr. Brauerman had to scan in. And as you walk up to the door opens for you.
That's sussy.
It's not the first time a door opens for me just because I walk up to it.
Does it slam on
That's
us?
crazy.
No, Warden is allowed
Does it slam
But
on?
does it
to
Ah,
let
s-
other people in.
Okay.
Yes.
I would just grab
I
onto
have
his-
security clearance. Dog.
I would just grab onto his arm and be like, alright, we're going in now. I can't stop all this.
Upon entering, Warden is going to kind of once he gets to that point into the room where he can kind of look
Too much
around,
work.
he is
Gotta eat
going
my fried chicken.
to scan the room.
Scan the room. Okay, you want to go ahead and roll me another perception check.
That is a 24.
24? Okay, so walking into the room, and just to make sure it was clear, the screams did not come from in this room. It came from down the corridor, quite a ways.
Yeah.
Not in this room.
Okay.
Um,
He's still gonna kind of see who's. Kind of just. He's kind of poking his head, but he's kind of looking around.
Poking your head in, you see the room is almost expanded a little bit to occupy the extra space. Peeking over towards this kind of like chasm, there is another set of spiral stairs around the wall that seems to lead down, and you see this massive room seemingly made of like different, you would assume to be very valuable materials. Like it looks like there's some adamantine, some mithril, some obsidian, maybe some even more fantastical materials you've never heard of, that are down there. And they have these creases in them in a very, very odd symbol, and series of symbols that you can't really narrow down what they're supposed to mean. But you would assume that that right there is where this ritual will be taking place.
Okay. Warden tries to run analysis on the symbols.
Analysis. Okay. Go ahead and roll me. We'll call this a history at disadvantage.
History.
No, this is not an Arcana. I know that's what you wanted.
That's a 14 plus 4. Or an 11.
An 11 overall.
You win.
You seem to see some symbols that you would interpret to be something like sky and like a general dispel symbol, but you aren't really able to narrow down that. Maybe like a storm, but you can't really recognize these very well.
Okay. Occupants of the other scientists, are they all around or are they all in the meeting?
They're all in the meeting. All the scientists are.
Okay. Warden.
I'm with the science team. Are you really jerking off by yourself right now? I'm with the science team.
Warden, turning around, is going to begin to exit the room and then continue down that corridor where you heard that scream. But as he's turning around and passes by you two and says, "We will be back. It is rude to snoop."
Not really.
As he
Okay.
goes to snoop into deeper surface.
Yes, but he's rude. It's rude to snoop because it's like all their shit's all over the place, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to. But the only reason I was let in is so that security clearance. But
Okay.
okay, but I'm not gonna snoop around their shit as much as I want to go talk to that Raven again.
That's
The metal one.
The metal.
That's so great.
Oh yeah, you do see metal
Damn, that's old.
animals.
That.
My childhood show was Bear in the Big Blue House. That shit was lit.
So, you want to give me one of those Mountain Dews?
Tormund doesn't feel comfortable doing that.
Hey,
Tormund needs to stop being such a little
Tormund
bitch.
doesn't like being asked to get Mountain Dew.
It sounds like that lady from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, it does.
oh yeah,
Okay.
Mister, I'm literally made of metal. You literally see animals literally made of metal.
There are animals literally made of metal in that room.
I'm a ton. I don't give a shit.
He's eating his fried chicken. Anyway,
He's eating
I
his...
am-
Bro looks at the chicken made of meat.
The chicken made of meat.
Hold
How
on.
much it's made of meat?
Man, look at that
Chicken
metal
made of metal.
chicken that I can't fucking eat and just
He
continues eating his
continues
metal
eating-
chicken.
Hear me out. You're
His
made-
non-metal
His
chicken.
metal.
You're made
Bro
of
looks
metal.
at the metal
The
chicken that I
chicken
can't
made of
eat,
metal.
continues eating metal chicken.
I eat
I'm literally made of metal. I can eat this chicken.
You can eat
Okay.
Go eat it.
So Aton,
It's totally
Baton.
digestible.
Oh fuck.
Gordon, and Gorsh.
Oh, okay.
yes,
The
we
three
are
of you-
walking
I really
towards
said
that
it
corridor.
first.
I know.
I only
Make a
spent
constitution
I
I only
saving
spent
throw.
like a brief less
A
than
minute or
less.
two.
The chicken attacks
I'd
you
say
from
less
the
than a
inside.
minute. I walked in, peered around,
Gordon,
looked
go
down in there, and was like, "No one's here. I really have no business
Scene from Alien.
snooping." So I was like, but the burning cleric in
That's a
me
pretty story.
hears a scream down the hall, and I'm like, that's not normal.
Okay,
There's good
so
things.
as you guys make your way
Me looking at
down
my
this
chromosome
staircase,
counts. That's not normal.
you end up it ends up flattening out, and Warden, with that nat 20, pipe down. With that nat 20, you every few minutes as you're walking seem to hear it again while the others don't, and eventually you start to get close enough where you guys start to hear something too. But
Well, you don't.
coming closer, you go through what you would almost call like a maze. Like it is you just following the scream for like 5 minutes of
Can
walking.
I roll to finally realize that there's screaming going on?
Sure.
11
Hey,
plus
you
5.
recognize.
Cool.
You're like super close, and it was like super obvious for the others.
It was like,
And bro's just eating the
fuck.
chicken. Bro jumps, hits his head on the roof ceiling.
Let's
Drop
just like
the
put the
chicken.
Puts
chicken,
the chicken away. I'll save the cold chicken for later.
Whole
Okay.
chicken. That shit's still rolling.
They've literally been just following this voice for like 5 minutes that's continually screaming, and after like 5 minutes of following it, he's like, Do you guys hear that screaming?
Absolutely. Yeah. So one thing to note as you're going through, this would be considered night at this point. So you do see a couple yuan T down here who kind of give you weird looks, like, what are you doing down here? But they seem to mostly be like heading back up to where they sleep. This kind of seems to be, you wouldn't even know what to call it. Like, you can't tell if this is a nursery or like a workshop or what, but there do seem to be a fair few amount of rooms that dug into this area until you kind of start getting to an area that you would almost call like an area for holding cells. As you continue, there are no guards posted.
Post it up.
As you continue, you find at the first like end of the road that you come across a like massive platinum door.
I pause for a few moments. Do I hear another scream beyond the door?
After a few minutes, you do hear another, not as much as scream, but more now like a pained groan.
Oh.
Does it sound like they're doing it?
Not a moan, a groan. Ah!
Nah, he's enjoying it.
Zoinks!
Zoinks!
Warden is thinking whether or not it would be a bad idea to walk, try to walk beyond this platinum door.
Is there any?
Do I hear the pain groan?
No. Yes.
Or should I
right
say,
outside the door.
Warden's
Okay,
trying
then-
to wonder whether or not he's allowed beyond this place.
I go to open the door.
Okay,
Damn.
Atan puts his chicken, goes to open the door.
It sounds like someone needs help.
I need you to make me a strength check.
Oh boy.
You're probably the best.
Let's
one.
go,
Can I help him and give him disadvantage?
That's great. I love that.
Cock and bull.
Cock and balls.
Do I have it?
How do I put this away?
Warden would be able to help if you wish, but he does not seem to be in that mood.
Oh shit. Oh, does it not just feel like opening a door?
No, I should have.
Just plus your strength.
No, I should have blessed.
Oh, that's not terrible. That's 25.
Suck, where's my bless?
25. What did you roll?
Damn.
I rolled a 14.
Did you add your saving? I think you added your saving.
Okay,
Oh,
so
then
adjust your strength.
scroll
my bad. Okay, hold on. That's 19.
19. I was gonna say,
That's not
I
bad.
don't think you could get there outside of a nat 20, but
Yeah.
I'm that strong.
I'm not sure.
It's on
So with a
basics.
19, you press on this door, and it is like a force that you've never felt before
Okay.
pressing up against you, and you feel it budge ever so slightly as you continue to crack it just a little bit. Yes,
I
Mr.
would
Finger.
I would like to drink my potion of fired.
I was gonna use it here.
No.
We're getting the door open unless you want to help me out, motherfucker.
I could just enhance ability, but anyways,
help me open this
I
motherfucker.
have it prepared.
But there's a difference between advantage and a bigger modifier.
I could have swore I had bless prepared, but apparently it's not there, so I don't know.
Okay, so
Motherfucker, don't worry about that. Just push the door with me.
Atan, filled with
Before-
chicken, does he drink the potion?
But hold on, before I look,
I'm gonna
I
look at
realize
him and say, "Are you
he's-
gonna help me or not?"
Warden to see you doing this.
The boulder feels
Hold on.
conflicted.
As Warden is conflicted with
Motherfucker.
this, with the little crack louder than you had heard it before, you hear a scream and what would almost feel like a snap of bone, or at least a
Unfortunately,
crack. You
because
can't
you're
quite tell.
Is it
Unable
open
to
enough for you
decide.
to send the
God
press
damn it,
in?
it's even. Anyways,
You could send it in, however. Let's see what they do.
I was gonna say I'm sending it in ahead of the second
Okay.
the door gets cracked.
okay.
The door is like there's not a seal broken yet, but it's starting to move.
Yeah, just the second it's available to get in there, it's going in.
Okay.
I was like this. Warden, hearing the scream, decides, you know what? He's a cleric, and he hears the bone snaps, and he's like, okay, yeah, this isn't okay. Whatever's going on. And instead of sitting there wondering whether or not he's allowed through the door, he immediately notices that, well, this is a place with a lot of very powerful magic people. This can't be a normal door. He's like, okay, he budged it, but like, this can't be a normal door. He runs analysis very quickly.
Okay, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Nat 20!
Nat 20. So that's a 30, correct?
Hell
yeah, baby.
28.
28. Okay. With a 28 Arcana, looking at this door, there does not seem to be any major magical defenses. There does seem to be some minor incantations to make it more difficult to open. However, you would say that, like, to open this, the strength required would be far beyond what the Yuan-Ti would be capable of. And probably all of the science team as well.
Is there a lever?
No, there is no lever.
I would have seen that in my analysis, but
Yeah, there was just a handle the whole time. It was actually a pull, not a push. Now you've broken it. Now you've broken it off.
That sounds like such an Auton thing to say. Auton.
Okay, Warden. What does Warden do here?
Yeah, what does Warden do?
Warden takes all 4 arms, presses it up against the door, and upon himself casts Enhance ability for bold strength.
Are you gonna cast it on yourself or on Atan?
He already rolled a pretty high number, and he's going at it.
But that gives advantage, and he is stronger than it. If you're talking statistically,
I
Wait, didn't he roll a 19?
I rolled
Yes, he
a
did.
14.
Statistically, he could.
No, you rolled a 19, is what you said.
I rolled
Yes,
a 14
with his
plus
modifier.
5 total.
Oh, I thought you rolled a 19 plus 5. Okay, well, in that case,
what I would do is, since you're helping,
yeah.
if you cast that on him, and forego your roll, I would give him triple advantage in this occasion.
Triple advantage?
Because generally you can use the help action to give someone help. But since you're doing that and using a spell here.
Super advantage! Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it.
Super
That
advantage.
one would suck.
I'll
Nat 20.
Okay.
as I'm walking up to the door, then
Give it
I
back.
kind of tap him on the back and then put all 4 arms.
He does like the bodybuilders, like
I just
like
Bro
like-
slaps him in 4 different spots and starts to push on the door with you.
Well, no, what I do is both my right arms just go bam, and then it's a bam.
So with 2 titans, Gore's just looking here like a little child. He's the orc, supposed to be a big strong boy, but he's smart boy. Just
Dad
like,
and
"Oh!"
Uncle are lifting or like
I'm just
moving
holding
the
my
door.
little cat ready.
Bro's holding the flashlight.
No, I'm holding the cat.
Okay. Okay, Atan, give me that
Triple
advantage.
advantage.
Let's see
Okay,
it.
so is that
3 d20s.
Here, you can roll one of mine.
No,
since you
no,
did
No,
mine.
he picked out his ones. He's
Okay.
taking time.
okay? That's 2 15s, so that'd be
That's
dirty
20.
20.
Dirty 20.
Ah.
So as you
That's not
guys continue to push and push, the door cracks, and as soon as the crack opens, you send your Trism, and they are able to push the door to where you guys can like slide in.
Okay. He's got
Nice.
8%.
It is a fairly small door.
Yeah.
Okay, what does he see?
Well, what all of you guys see, you guys can roll perception checks.
I'm looking through my Tresium because I'm sending him. He's as
I'll give
far
you-
as
Okay,
he
so
can
then
get.
just roll for your Tresium rather than
Which,
yourself.
and I'm going to roll and just a heads
what
up.
was perception?
Yes.
That is 23.
17.
23, 17.
That is a
38.
Which makes sense because I'm to the left of him and you were over by the.
natural
I'm
20
closer
plus
to the-
5
I'm
for a
closer to the,
25, and he can see
inches.
all invisible things within 60 feet of him.
Okay. So, what is
17.
17?
Yeah.
23.
23.
I am.
Okay, so all of you guys hit the base check, so here's what I'm going to give all of you. As you guys step into the door, the ground that was more like a rock turns more into dirt as you enter into this. And you guys, looking about, would almost say you are standing in like a small scale version of the fold. In this maybe 25 by 25 room. Peering around, the ceiling is like pitch black with small beams of purple energy falling and faint like booms of thunder around this like miniature picturesque version of the fold. And in the middle, completely shrouded in like shadow, seemingly holding up a bar that is like bolted to the clouds themselves in the sky. There seems to be
Larry.
Sorry.
It's just this massive fucking tree.
No, Larry! No!
Larry, no! This is
Sorry,
my
Larry,
Larry,
no!
The fact that there's a small delay too, and it still landed perfectly, is great.
I timed it. I knew
what you were
drawing
drawing up on it. I was
like,
I'm gonna do it now before it seems natural.
So, in the middle, you see standing there what seems to be a human man that is, first off, completely nude and shredded like the most beastly bodybuilder you've ever seen. Like, his muscles
He's an
have
attractive
muscles.
man.
No, actually. He is very dark. You can see the muscles so thick that even through like a full coat that you would almost say of like fur. Like, his hair is so thick, but you can still see
It's
the
like
well-defined
Mountain Man
muscles.
type.
This is Mountain Man. Long, like shaggy, jet black hair,
And he's
and a face
Is
that
he a
is
man-wolf?
far wider than you would generally see from
and
most
he's
humans.
holding a bar.
And he is holding like a bar that seems to be directly connected to the ceiling of this room. And
Is he holding or
as-
is he strapped to it?
he's holding it,
Is he struggling?
and he is struggling.
Okay.
And he seems to be like barely conscious, like eyes closed, focusing on this. You also see a few like almost wires connected to him in different positions, almost like you would think an IV of sorts. There is a table set off to the side of the room that has like dozens of little vials and like syringes set off to the side. And what the Tressum sees with being able to see invisibility and such, there's no like people in the room, but the sky itself and a whole bunch of little things floating, almost like little ghastly specks around the room. There are just like clumps of this white mist that you would assume to be like hordes of the ghosts that you know parade in the fold that are just flying around in the area that are completely invisible to the naked eye.
So, question. You said there's these little drops of like purple light coming from like
Yes.
And are those purple lights moving or any of them clustered together?
You would guess that they are representations of the lightning falling in the storm.
Oh, the lightning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing.
Looking at it, are there like basically it's just markers of everything moving
markers
in the
of
fold?
everything that is occurring in the fold.
We're
This is-
looking at a live action map, right?
I was gonna say we're literally in a war room.
In fact, another thing that you see, in the more northern section, as the Tressum kind of parades around, you see, nobody else sees this, but this giant like clump of like black clouds that you would assume to be a huge amount of the blue car are like dive bombing a skiff in the northern sector right now.
Fuck.
You would say there are probably at least 100.
Oh. Well, I'm currently just kind of sitting there in the doorway.
Bros.
Oh. I hop out of
There
that.
are also a far more connections into the human than the rest of them see. There are dozens. And as you like come out of your Tressum, you look and there are only like 3 or 4 wires plugged into them when there were multiple dozen that you saw previously.
I don't think you guys are you guys? Oh, no, you don't see it. There is way more wires running into him. I can see that ghostly spirits circling around everything. Look over in this corner. Them attacking visible, right?
Yeah, it is visible. It's just very hard to see. As you guys kind of look over, Warden, you would say there are probably a couple hundred there dive bombing this skiff. And as you guys turn over to look, just a massive flash of light like strikes out, and dozens of them fall from the sky.
What if
Hell
I
yeah.
pissed on it?
Oh.
What if I pissed on it? They get yellow rain.
Fireball.
Warden is trying to figure out what the fuck connection this dude has to it, and he's going to assume he is powering this view of the fold in this war room map looking
I
thing.
will also denote you guys do not see that any of his bones are broken, even though you distinctly heard something break as you entered.
Unless, does it? You said it looks like he's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Warden. Is going to notion to both of them, just like don't let them know we're here kind of thing yet. But Warden's trying to like see, is like, what the hell is, why is this guy plugged in all this shit, and Warden is assuming that this guy is in some way essentially channeling this spell or whatever it is. He's assuming it's a spell that's giving this live view of the entire
That is
fold.
Warden's assumption.
That's Warden's assumption. And Warden calls upon analysis
Okay.
in his head.
Go
Just
ahead
waiting for someone
and
to go over and
roll me an Arcana.
pick up the skiff and just move it.
I want to just fireball the middle of it.
By the way, you guys have like stepped on cities as you're walking in the area, and nothing seems to happen. Like it does not seem that this is
It's a
interactive.
hologram.
This is not
I
interactive.
want to inspect the vials, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That is.
Go ahead and
Drink them.
you're welcome to.
It is ketamine.
Partially apart.
Way worse.
18 Arcana check.
18 Arcana check.
That's your-
Warden has no clue what this is.
Fuck. Warden.
Can I?
Go ahead and roll me a. Let's go flat intelligence. Because there's no real good check for this.
Am I able to do like a history check on like the guy? Can I? My brain's thinking
That's
he's
the
a
first
god.
Yeah.
That's a 3. I start casting Identify.
You're
also
also
three.
So we're gonna cast identify on one. Okay.
You're dead.
Can you read identify to me, just so I know how it interacts with non-magical
Your
objects?
descendants are dead. They're all dead.
Anyone who ever saw one of your is
If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. It gives me specifications if it's a magic item or imbued with some type of magic.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit of something, but it's probably not going to be as maybe efficient as you wished.
Or great granddaughter.
I also learned its properties and how to use them.
Its properties, okay, that helps. Okay, and just an FYI, I did announce it last week, but I don't know how you guys are feeling about it tonight, but we may end up needing to go a little bit later than usual.
I already told babysitter we would probably go later, so.
I'm fine.
I know Jade's probably going to dip at some point, but hopefully he'll be able to.
I don't have my morning classes. So.
Well, y'all aren't important. That's it. I will right now. That's why we'll be late.
By the way, no, but I want to.
Yeah,
Can I do like a?
Dry?
Brother.
Can I?
What psychopath?
Can I do like
dry?
a history check?
Someone who doesn't have material.
Am I able to do something to investigate like
How
the
material
guy?
components.
What did you say again?
You want
Like,
to
am I able to investigate the guy or something?
You can go up and attempt to
Yeah, would
investigate
nobody
that.
like to investigate the naked man that's
Oh, he
obviously
wants to
struggling?
Well, not even that. I just
Who's
want
his
to.
dick?
I just want to
That's
think
exactly
because
what
this
Mike
guy.
would do.
I mean, first of all,
Mike would do
he's
something
doing
like that.
something obviously unnaturally strong,
He's
and
a
I would
total
understand that
Shiva.
because
Okay.
I'm naturally
so,
strong.
It's powered by pleasure.
Go ahead and roll investigation. Investigation does
It's
generally mean
working.
you're a little bit closer. Just FYI. Investigation does mean you're like really looking into the details, getting close.
Really looking at that car.
Really look. By the way, I'm not going to mention how big it is.
That's fine.
I'm gonna roll
It's a 7.
I'm gonna roll a
Seven.
d6 to determine inches. It's only 2 inches.
That was
Okay. So as you get
D20
closer
to
and you look
determine
around,
inches,
you're like,
obviously.
I heard
Actually,
a
no,
leg
12.
break, and then you look down towards his legs as the
Which one?
foot launches itself towards your face.
Who just did what?
He shoved his face in the naked man.
I'm about to learn if he's really
Just
unnaturally
that
strong or
lie.
if he's naturally strong real quick.
You take 73
What?
points of
It looked
damage
like when you-
and are slammed into the wall.
Probably just my eye
I
twitching.
think I figured it out.
It looked like
As
it
this
went
happens,
first
like
and
he
then the
almost
other
kind of
eye followed,
slips a
and
little
I was
bit,
like,
and rather than holding
I'm
it, it goes
sorry.
onto
One of
his
my eyes
shoulders,
twitches before
and
the other
he
one.
stands
That's
there
it, maybe that's
and
it.
like
I wish I could control it.
almost seeming like he doesn't understand how to interact, and was just you got too close and just fucking curb stomped
I was
him.
gonna say, fuck around,
How many
find out.
chromosomes does he
Okay.
have?
Maybe a few short.
Short?
I think
I think I know what this guy's name is.
Wow.
Third leg grade.
You'll be so surprised. So, Ward.
Well, I obviously feel like this guy is literally a god or something because
Nibs. Warden.
there is no fucking way anyone with a foot can just wreck my shit for more than half of my health.
Warden.
I just started back.
Warden, who kind of was shocked at what just happened, kind of lets out a slow breath and walks forward to get a clearer look at the man's face, who's now, I'm assuming, looking at us.
As he's kicked out, he does, after it drops to his shoulder and another groan of pain, like almost doing a full squat from the weight that pushes him down, like standing back up, setting back into position. He kind of opens his eyes, and there is such a look of confusion on his face when he sees just a full-out metal man in front of him.
With
You're
glowing
scaring the
eyes.
god.
I'm sorry, but I'm just looking
No.
at him.
Hurt, you not Jace? Who? He kind of arcs his head, very confused at the dragonborn sitting on the ground, cradling its stomach.
Well, it's nice to meet you too.
Warden
Just coughs
begins
up
to
some
search his memory banks. Do I recognize or know?
Go
of
ahead and roll me a
anything?
history check.
His
He
name
said
is
this is
Odin.
a
What
sort of
is
guy
it
out.
identify?
Oh,
Tell
is
me
it?
about the vials.
Okay, so the vials, they're made, what
I don't know
their
about the vial.
technical designation would be a lithophilic molecule, or basically a fucking juiced up steroid.
Is this fucking Atlas?
And
What
that's
I'm
amazing
saying,
what I
it's
thought.
fucking Atlas. He's holding up the fucking sky.
And y'all made him shrug.
Genius and-
How many vials are there on the table?
There are
Drug. Brother
dozens.
just
Dozens.
Yeah,
Brother,
there are
brother.
some automatically planted
brother
like into
motherfucker just hit me
syringes.
for half with a
Or
foot.
are they kind of just strewn about or placed in like
They are placed very meticulously.
weird.
very meticulously? Okay.
What is it?
It tastes good.
Is there any like on the floor, any corners, any?
No,
This
it
is what
is
I wanted you.
very
But-
pristine.
it.
Like this table is pristine.
You want to try it?
Sour Skittle gummies.
Oh, fuck.
But they're gummies.
We're handing out gummies as we're talking to the fucking no chromosome bitch holding up the sky. What are we on about, guys?
Oh, no, I was
You want
actually-
to try it?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I want to play D&D.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, I rolled an 18.
Okay.
They're just weird.
On the Arcana, I already told you. You don't get anything.
No, that was the history check.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
history check.
Because I'm trying to
Okay.
search my memory banks of if
On a
I
his-
know
Okay.
who or of this being.
So as you close your eyes, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck! I knew it.
As you are accessing A6's memories.
You know, the funny thing was, is if I rolled low, Warden was gonna ask A6, "Who is this guy?"
Who is this guy?
In fact, we'll just say for narrative's
just
sake,
puts on a
Warden
shirt that
literally
says, "I'm
searching
with
the memory
stupid,"
banks and then
and
says
pointing
in
towards
his
them.
mind, "Who is this guy?"
A6, show me this guy's balls.
Oh,
You
thank
can
God.
see them as Ward did.
Yeah, he wants to see more.
Oh, thank God.
His balls are massive.
Well, the
That was
steroids make him small.
Brother, he ain't got steroids.
Brother.
21.
21. Okay. So as you're attempting to access A6's memories, there we
Yikes.
go. That was a bit of a phrase.
Bastards.
You close your eyes, and you hear A6 say, "I only ever saw him once. That is the son of Apatus.
Son of a
Technically only half Titan, which is why he is mentally deformed.
Apatus. Who's Apatus?
Apatus is like the head of the Quirin Council.
Oh.
The Titan. The Quirin Council, the council you just had a meeting with.
So Prometheus is one of the other Titans, but this is Apatus.
Yes, Apatus' son.
Oh, Warden.
A penis.
Apenis' son. If
Appetite.
memory serves, I do believe his name was Atlas.
Fuck, there it is.
Who'd have fucking thought?
I knew it.
Motherfucker just kicked me across the room. Feel like I figured that one out.
Warden is going to quietly say under his breath,
Power word kill.
What I was gonna say under his breath.
and then he's just gonna be like, no, but almost like confused because A6 knows who this fucker is.
Mhm.
So it's like he verbally is responding to A6, but he's like, Atlas?
The eyes kind of lock back to yours.
Oh, that's how you spell penis.
Who are you?
Warden looks back at the other two, and then looks back at Atlas, and kind of shrugs and goes, "My name is Warden. However, many ages ago, you may have known of one who went by AA6X or A6. I
As
am
you
a
say the name, he looks at you questioningly and says, "Me destroy you?"
Then you got wombo comboed by a fucking Titan.
Warden takes a brief,
Well,
like
was
just a slight
it-
step back. I'm out of his reach.
Or was it other? You look similar. And he very much slurs the L in similar. Similar.
Slur. I am one of the creations of Dr. Harry Voberman.
Harry.
That's his first name.
Doctor, Harry Voberman.
We were like, really?
Harry.
This first
That was the
name
name
Harry?
Harry.
You guys never asked the first time you were
No,
here.
it was funny though.
As you say
Voberman,
Voberman,
the
and
boy live.
Alice says
die.
Voberman is nice.
Oh.
He bring me cookies.
Warden says, hesitantly, thinking about what A6 had told him previously, I agree.
Kimra, nicer. He make the injections, kind of like nodding over to the table.
He's gonna spill.
Keener is one of the other scientists.
Kimra is the Gith Yankee bio, or the Gith bioengineer.
Oh, yeah, okay. Warden nods. And says, why?
What?
This is is a wise man, founder of astronomy. That's pretty neat. Sorry.
What are you doing here?
He kind of looks up towards the ceiling and says, I don't know. Holding this.
Whoa.
Was told.
Y'all,
Y'all, can you speak a little slower? It's hard to understand what you're saying.
Was told it was important. Shut the fuck up.
Warden kind of looking around the room again, looking at the bar, looking back at him, and says, you mentioned destroy when you saw me.
I destroyed many, corrupted. Father brought me before sky went dark.
Also, Zeus is a character.
Not a Titan.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm like, bro did not know his Greek law.
Well, apparently it was condemned by Zeus.
Atlas was condemned by Zeus, yes, in Greek mythology. But Zeus was a son of the Titan.
This is not Greek mythology. This is very much just taking.
This is Zach mythology.
This is Zach
I'm
mythology.
just learning about Atlas lore. That's pretty neat.
Atlas is pretty cool. Gave us fire.
That was Prometheus.
That was
Oh,
good.
you're
Prometheus.
Not Atlas.
Shame.
Atlas
And he was.
Atlas gave us
Prometheus was the
astronomy.
one. Yes, sorry. And then
Yeah, actually, that's true.
That is true. I thought that was Hyperion. Anyway,
probably Pulu.
He's Atlas.
Collapse.
No.
not really.
Sure.
Warden shakes his head and kind of holds up all four arms and says, I am not one of those. It is okay.
He kind of eyes you. I no trust.
That sounds like something one of the corrupted would say.
Atlas is a super. There's a lot of Atlas lore, guys.
Atlas geek overnight.
Brother's gonna be up till 3 a.m. not studying for finals, just
I
researching.
don't have
Greek
any more
for
finals to study. All of it's based off of piano.
Nice.
And Warden just responds, it is okay not to trust me. I understand meeting a new person, especially one unfamiliar to you.
While you're naked.
You're not here.
There's
There's
that.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding us.
Really.
I forgot.
I had come here out of concern due to hearing pained cries. That is all.
As you say that, he says, "Can you heal?"
Warden just gives a firm nod.
He's almost looking at you expectantly.
Oh.
You're expecting you're probably gonna have to do something pretty big to make any kind of dent in the strain going on with him.
But your inflict wounds does quite a bit of health.
I
But
hear,
why? Nobody's asking
I
you
just-
big
just
questions.
feels
that way.
Ah,
What big question?
why is he holding up this guy?
I already asked him that, and he
No,
said,
you didn't.
I said, what are you doing? And he says,
I
I don't know.
That's not the exact.
No,
said
that's not
he's
exactly
important.
how you asked it.
Well, that's not the exact question that you're wanting asked, but it is a similar answer regardless.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He was just told it was important by his dad,
I did get that bit.
which he already said.
That is
Yes.
sad.
That is sad.
Daddy.
Alright, Warden.
Charlie bit my finger.
I cast ball of fire.
Gravity sinkhole.
Gravity sinkhole.
The fall. The
I cast.
Can't wait shield you.
I cast. Fuck! 9th level. Bro's just saying it.
I cast premature ejaculation.
I don't have the heal spell.
You have Greater Restoration.
Yes,
This is a
You have plenty of diamonds.
I do. What would greater restoration was healing?
No, it wouldn't heal, but it would
It would-
restore.
it would-
it is something
It
along the
would
same
restore,
lines.
so all of his sore muscles would be better
sucks everything.
now.
A little bit.
We'll say they're
Technically, Greater Restoration wipes out levels of exhaustion.
No, I meant
Doesn't
come
matter
towards
what.
me.
Finish quicker. No, wait.
$1,000 balls.
Oh, it doesn't have extra levels to it, so
Damn, those are some shit rolls. I bet I could do better than that.
Please roll that.
is greater restoration 4th level or 3rd?
Only that, like,
Fifth?
20.
There it is.
Let's try that again.
Warden begins to reach out one of his hands closer to, like, kind of walks up closer to him and looking at my hand, kind of pointing towards his chest and say, "May I?"
He kind of looks at it, just not knowing what, but kind of hoping that it's some kind of help, kind of nods a little bit.
Warden kind of holds his other hands back and
This
says,
one's really
"This will help
I
you,"
did not.
and
I give up.
reaches out and touches him very, very kind of
Bro just gets the 2-inch hair, just barely.
just barely touches
Touches
him
the
because the last guy who approached him got fucking like
I'm just in the corner like,
Your AC wouldn't matter against that.
master
It's like,
black belted into the wall.
It's like the woman that
35 to
it's
hit.
it's like the
No,
woman that
but
fell while
not
squashing like the
super far
grapes
away.
for like the wine. It's just like the
and he does cast greater restoration. So
As you cast Greater Restoration, almost like re-invitalize. Not as effective as you would generally think with a mortal, but casting Greater Restoration on him, it kind of, you see like some of his muscles kind of lax and loosen a little bit as he kind of stands up a little bit more comfortably now, and kind of nods to you, Warden, and says, "Thank you."
Does he want fried chicken?
Oh no.
Do you ask that out loud?
I ask him food?
As
Fried
you're
chicken?
doing that, standing in the doorway,
Fuck.
I
Is
just
a
feel the
massive fried
Chicken.
chicken.
I just
completely naked,
pull out
balls
the axe.
hanging.
We
No.
good tonight.
Warden, you
That's
see
murder.
standing in the doorway, eyes wide, both Dr. Voberman and Kimra sitting there, and Dr. Voberman says, "Oh, fuck. You should get out of here, Warden. I don't know how you found your way down here, but you were not supposed to. Atlas, I hope you didn't do anything too disruptive." And he kind of comes over, pushing both of you guys away from him, and kind of nods to Kimra, and Kimra walks over to one of the syringes, and seemingly confused as to why Atlas is standing so strong still like goes to the back of his neck and sharpens the tip a little bit to get it through the thick fur and skin of Atlas and injects it into him, and Atlas seems to only get even stronger from there. And Dr. Robinson says, "It's time to go.
But does he want any food?
Warden just
Who
grabs
is
him
this?
by the neck and. Well, you said we had to leave, so I will explain as we exit.
But fried chicken!
And then I
He has
literally
plenty of sustenance already."
I'm just grabbing you by kind of like the back of the neck and just leading you out.
As
Okay.
as we are going through the door, I say, "I'm literally made of metal," and then we just go.
As the door, and both of the scientists look at the door like, "How the fuck did they get this open?" as they kind of move it around, and they seem to almost like both be casting a spell to
As
close.
I walk out a bit behind them, and I was looking at them, you left it unlocked. It wasn't really that hard for them. They kind of just pushed it. Goodbye.
We pushed the door open. We were hurried.
Kimura looks at you
I
and says,
heard screams coming from down the corridor, and I followed it to this door. And well,
it was not necessarily built for its raw strength, but the capability to break through some of the more minor magical defenses is quite disconcerting.
Warden kind of.
Warden starts flex. Just
yeah.
like that. It's just,
Warden looks at the taunt.
He's just like doing the fucking. Like,
and then looks down
at
at himself, all 4 arms, and goes, 6 arms.
I guess Dr. Orman says, well, it does somewhat make sense. The magical defenses were made against the Yuan Ti, not against other creatures. We didn't expect anything else to be in here.
I'm too fucking dumb.
And Kimura's like,
My God.
I guess that is somewhat conceivable. Still disconcerting. We must look into this. And Dr. Robin says, yes. However, I do believe it is most important that... Is your ship outside? I'm assuming that's where the rest of your group is. Say no.
I would assume so.
We should speak there then rather in the castle.
Warden kind of looks confused at him and says, okay.
I will explain.
Seemed like a pretty good dude.
Warden just gives a hesitant nod, and I guess we start walking towards the ship.
As you guys continue walking up, you take the 5 to 10 minutes to get to the point where the scientist hold is. And as you guys are passing Voberman, the rest of the scientists are like entering the room, and Voberman kind of nods to them, and they all look really confused. And Voberman says, Jace, and he reaches out and grabs the automaton and just yanks him with you guys. Come with us.
Jace. Oh, the other automaton?
The automaton
Yeah.
of the science.
Yeah.
The science one.
He's just
I'm on the science team.
okay.
As you guys go up, it is late. Like, the equivalent of like 2 to 3 a.m. at this point.
Man, is Dr. Voberman not going to say anything about my 4 cool arms? Anyways, I'm just kidding. Let's keep walking. Last time I saw him, we have 2 arms.
So you guys are kind of taken back up to the top of the chasm and led into the ship.
Where Nari
Warden?
is.
You just
Go
keep going.
I will wait for you because this is. Logan's got the bladder of a freaking pigeon.
Just.
Bros, here, just 4 arms.
Shoot it!
Time to piss.
Back to Atlas lore. Apparently, Jack Kirby made an Atlas comic book character in the 1970s.
Nice.
I guess the guy didn't really want fried chicken.
Bro did not want the fried chicken.
Brother did not want fried chicken.
Which is on me for.
I'm planning on moving day being the 1st.
June?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
That is going to be a D&D day with Logan's group, but I mean,
Is it?
1st and 3rd is his
Oh, I thought
intention.
it was 2nd.
No, 1st and 3rd was his intention. But honestly, with half of us probably going to be there with moving day, if that does end up being the date that you choose, like.
Because I'll close the 31st. And, I mean, I'll probably be down there Friday night. But, short of doing some cleaning for at night, moving some random shit, I'll probably do all of my big stuff.
Dolls were just starting to lay down.
Okay. So, no, they've been down for a little bit. They've been down for a while.
Cool.
So as you guys get up onto the ship, Nari, you hear footsteps. 6 sets of footsteps.
And my loud footsteps.
And very obviously Warden's footsteps on the deck as you're kind of just
On the deck.
in a hammock, just watching the steps until
I want to like have a knife ready.
yeah, just pulling out a knife, eyes flaring with fire. And
Knock,
then
knock,
the
knock.
hatch kind
Nari!
of opens up. The hatch opens up, and Gorsh, Atan, and Warden slide down first. And then you see Dr. Boberman. And then
Eyes
Kira.
narrowed.
And then an automaton that you slightly remember seeing, but don't remember the name of.
An automaton?
Yes.
It's
Yo,
Warden's little brother.
what is?
Basically.
I'm gonna say over chat. Would anyone like,
Chat.
And
Who
as
is this
the
guy?
door seals, you see Jace place his hand on the door once, and like a rune appears on it, and then he goes to one of the corners of the
He's
room.
literally my little brother.
And another rune shows up. And as he's walking
Warden,
to
do
the
you
other
wanna
one,
explain
he accidentally
what the fuck's
knocks
going on?
into the hammock that Mikhail's in as he
Hold
just
on.
continues walking and sets up another
Do I
rune.
recognize these
Warden
They
immediately
do
looking at
seem
the
to-
runes. Yeah, looking at the runes.
Both of you guys can roll Arcana checks if you want.
As
Okay.
he runs into me, I wake up and I immediately drop my dagger.
26.
What the fuck is going on?
As you do with your like kind of light grip, he looks and like a ghastly hand picks the knife out of your hand and drops it on the ground as he makes another rune on the corner.
I rolled 26.
I had 27.
27. So both of you guys notice these are for sure like anti-divination runes.
Oh.
Get
Like
fucked.
nothing gets seen in here. Not divine magic, divination magic.
Which means no one
Get
can peer in,
idiot.
no one can listen, no one can. Yeah. Warden realizing this, responds to.
Basically, the CIA.
No, at
Responds.
this point, I'm walking around. I'm saying it verbally. What the fuck's going on?
Dr. Rowan says, calm down. We're here to talk.
We found
This-
a Titan.
I'm not
This
likely
is-
to trust someone whose first name I heard is Mary. So shut up.
Warden
I
holds.
was named
Warden-
17,000 years ago!
Warden holds up his hands and says, "The runes are for our privacy."
What do we need privacy for? I mean, not that I mind, but I don't like any of these dipshits. Why are they here if we need privacy?
What, you don't
I
like
think
them?
I have an answer.
I don't know.
That's not very nice.
I never said I
You're
was.
probably waking up
Shayla-
to all the voices.
Yeah, you're waking up to all these voices. Shayla also
They're not in
wakes
your
up and
head
is
for
like,
once.
They are.
who's the robot? Is that a gift? Just utterly confused, probably tripping a little bit from eating a mushroom before she went to bed.
Word response. To keep things simple, I don't know why we're meeting here, but I assume Boberman needs to speak of something, as well as his associates. And you wanted the name of the other robot, Jace. Yeah. And Jace.
Jace.
Indeed, I am programmed from most magical necessities.
Do you have magic healing perchance?
I am not a
Please tell me
divine.
that's Kevin. Just like that from the chicken. And you're just not moving.
I do not have any divine magics in my being. I am merely a being of the arcane. Quite proficient, most say.
Alright, got it.
Oh my
My
God, they
rib
really
cage
are
is still
still
broken, so yeah, I'm just wondering about that.
That would be a question for
cast
the
rogue.
other metal friend in this boat.
Yeah, okay. I walk over to you, I'm like, do you have a healing potion?
You have a healing potion.
You have a healing potion.
You should have like 4.
Wait, don't use one of the big ones. You don't need to use the big one.
I think you have a green potion that'll be pretty good for him.
For some reason, I don't have my healing word
We're
prepared.
talking about a very
Can I just mash healing word, but say it was a healing word?
I have is my potion of fire trident.
No, you should
Okay,
have that.
I'm gonna 4th level healing word.
Okay,
Remember
so
how many
Aton's
keys
gonna
this
regain
is.
some hit points.
Don't worry, I'm healing you.
Oh, you're healing me?
Shopping.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna utter.
Everyone
I'm just
got
going to.
potions.
Yes, you got
Say
potion.
fucking dimwit and I heal 50 points.
he didn't add his potions.
Bruh. I'm pretty sure you were even here for that session.
He was
Kinda.
not.
He wasn't. That was the one he wasn't.
That
here
was
for.
last
He
session.
was
No, it was.
2 sessions ago.
Oh, that was-
Yeah,
Session
Ethan
before
wasn't here
Betty.
for that one, and I added it to his character sheet.
Oh.
Either
Yeah,
way,
so he
Yeah,
just
you are.
wasn't
Unless you
paying attention.
directly tell me to add something.
Doctor.
Hold on. How many
Very
D4s
much
is
did.
You get a supreme, a superior, and a regular healing potion. Purple, blue, white.
Okay, cool. In that,
Healing potions.
That'd be 3. So
Well,
then
you pimped out of mine, then you gotta be a supreme and 2 superiors.
You already had a superior.
I did?
Yes.
What the fuck? I'm checking my inventory. All I do is cast fireball.
Damn, that was
Their
really good healing.
inventories. Oh, where did that come from?
I still have the head. Damn.
wait, hold on. Wait,
So
wait,
head.
So no head?
I don't remember what it is. Hold on, give me
No
a
head.
minute.
Supreme,
Oh my.
superior, regular.
Bro, you're getting too far into the role playing. You are not this dumb.
Oh, are we sure now?
He's method acting now.
Tell him,
sorry.
not me.
I do love my method acting.
Meth acting?
Well, you
I mean, that almost happened.
you heal 16 points.
Cool. That's all I really need. I'm not gonna drink a potion.
I did speak a healing word. So.
As Jace finishes inputting the last of the anti-divination runes, he kind of looks at Dr. Voberman almost just expectantly, and Dr. Voberman says, "Thank you, Jace.
The world's finest hero.
It would be stranger if you left, so you're welcome to stand and listen in, I guess.
He is.
I trust him more than I trust you, Nari."
Damn, that's crazy.
I shift into my 75%.
Voberman, just like with a
Voberman.
crooked nose and like a cheek sagging a little bit.
Like, it's very much obvious who I'm trying to be, but I was interrupted, so I didn't get that.
And Voberman says,
And I go, I'm Dr. Robberman, and I like to wake people up when they're asleep.
Dr. Voberman says, "Well, some of your friends stumbled across something quite, I'm sure for them, interesting."
We found a really strong guy in the basement.
A what? A strong guy.
He was checking out some guy's dick.
Okay.
A tongue got kicked
Oh.
very hard.
So let me tell you how strong. Okay, so there was a guy in the basement, you know, and I walked up to him. I
That's
was
a
kind
red
of.
flag.
He was
Learned
naked.
that one the hard way.
Either way, so he kicked me.
Shayla.
What would you think?
Shayla,
What would you say
that's a dungeon
theoretically? How far I was kicked?
About
He did.
25.
He kicked me 25 feet, and I slammed into a wall, and it didn't feel very good. Obviously, he's something crazy. Would you like to explain that?
His name is
Dr.
Atlas.
Dr. Voberman says, "For simplicity's sake, and also since I can't necessarily directly speak of it due to bonds, how about this?" And he pulls out this like little rectangular black box, and sets it down. And you guys see a series of buttons on the side, and he presses one of them, and like a static begins to play.
Another like one of those things that we found in the ruins of the city.
No, this is like nothing that you've seen before.
Okay.
It is pretty much like a cassette player. Is
Or like a recording.
like a recording, but non-magical in any way. It is purely just technology.
Technology.
And it begins to play, and you hear the familiar voice of Prometheus. "Hello, scientists. Be welcome and have a seat. We have some things to discuss." You would assume that this is literally the meeting they had right after you guys left the room, with his tone of voice. You hear the familiar voice then of Sciosius. "Since our friends in the consortio have returned, we now have the capability to end this forsaken place. If their allies are able to bring the Sphinx's riddle, it will then be in our court. Is the room prepared for the ritual and our occupant comfortable?" Dr. Voberman, very obviously, "Yes, sir. The room has been arranged and needed, and developments will begin tomorrow afternoon. However, I must say there is one worry," and he kind of trails off. Apatis seems to say, Yes, Dr. Vopperman, what is the worry now? Then you hear, now, the voice of Jace. By my calculations, Atlas is weakening. The clouds are lowering by 0.43 meters per day, with much of our efforts being reduced in efficiency due to his body absorbing as much of the concoctions as he has. A voice that's not as familiar, but Warden would know it as just hearing it, Kimra, says, his half-titan resistances make it difficult to make anything that can actually give him strength. We've made many of the lithophilic molecules that he has just grown resistant to. Not to mention the danger of even entering the room with him. Dr. Robin seems to say, perhaps we could entertain giving him a spell? Apatis, no. My son will continue to hold the fold up. He has held it for many years already and can continue for the last few months required.
Warden kind of readjusts himself a little bit when he hears that, but
a voice none of you know. Brother, perhaps it is not the worst of ideas. Arrests could be of use, if his strength is with us when we possibly strike at Rao Shah. Apatis again here says, I will hear no more of it. He is dangerous to release, and he is the most capable of us for this job. My decision is final. Kimra, Haskaran, take it upon yourselves to ensure that he will make it through these last 5 months. Jace, Harry, and Marjorie, you will caretake the final preparations of the ritual. Kryos and Kronos will assist you. Skiosis seems to speak up. And what of my people? Are we truly to let these primitive beings use my current army in their war? Apatis again says, they have done us a great service and we will return it in similar kind. However, we do not risk them for our own. Your people will be safe, and we will cut from this cloth of earth a place for them after this is done. They have served us enough in their lives. Another voice that you guys have not heard speak before. So we are supposed to relinquish ourselves to these mortals for their means. If they knew the things we've done for the mortal races, they would have expected nothing from us. Prometheus says, now that's just not fair, brother. They are young, over-influenced by the gods. We can begin that change once we have taken our justice, and this place is gone and behind us. Apatis again speaks. The god's scourge is another question better answered once we've seen the world as it is now. But we'd best move on to other topics. And the recording kind of cuts out there. Dr. Robberin kind of takes it up and clicks it twice, and you hear almost like a belt winding inside of it. He says, I know that doesn't answer many questions, but I was going to show you this regardless of what you saw in the basement or not. However, since we are not allowed to necessarily speak of him that much. We weren't allowed to tell you, or else I would have.
Warden verbatim says exactly what Asix said about him. Is that his name is Atlas, he is the son of Apatis, he is a half-titan, and then just basically describes what he's doing in the room, and the fact that the room is literally a holographic live image of the entirety of the vault. I say that to the whole party.
As you say that, Jace kind of speaks up. About 1700 and some spare years ago, it came to our, it was obvious to us at that point that the fold was starting to degrade. The spells were starting to deteriorate, and it would not hold forever. So, me, Kimra, and Marjorie came up with the plan, along with some of the Titans, to set up posts that would, through the arcane magics, hold up the sky. But we were unable to do it through pure arcane because it kept failing. We needed something physical, some manifestation to hold it up. At first, some of the other Titans tried their hand, but were unable to hold it for extended periods of time. After a few months of a cycle that occurred, it was obvious the Titans were not strong enough. But the son of Apatis, you see he tries to say the name, but seemingly is incapable of doing so in your presence. The son of Apatis is, well, only half Titan and mentally deficient by the fact that he wasn't supposed to be able to exist, is physically stronger than the rest of his Titan brethren, or in this case, his father and uncles. So he has been under it for approximately 1,472 years. With minor spells, however, it was... And Dr. Robin says, "It's fine, Jace, I can explain the rest of it. In general, he's strong enough to hold it up, but if it were allowed to crush him to where he would be knocked prone, per se, the sky would be so low that it would nearly be no use, and as far as we can tell, everything in here would nearly cease to exist. As the walls of it would collapse in and the ceiling would fall. At least that is our scientific approximations. However, in a general sense, he has been able to hold it up quite well, but he has been very dangerous when replaced for as short a time as this has happened. Some of the Yuan-Ti have volunteered themselves as almost a euthanasia, as they no longer wished to continue to spell him for a day or two, but most of them only lasted a few minutes or hours. It is an incredible feat of strength that has kept the rest of us alive long enough to where you were able to come and, well, somewhat help us retrieve the items required for this ritual. But it is disconcerting, but at the end of ends, at least in the Titan's view, their only choice. Atlas is not very happy when he is out, which is why Apatis is not scared, almost more fearful, and there is a difference. He is fearful that he will have to hurt his son if a rage were to come upon him after being let from under the sky. It is easier to let him...
Why doesn't he want magic spells? Why doesn't he want spells cast on him to make him I think I heard that, right? That he said, should we give him a spell?
Oh, I'm not... it's a figure of speech. Like, giving someone a spell, say in sports, is I'm going to give them a substitution for a little bit. A break.
My bad.
Not arcane spell.
No, that's what I was thinking as well, so that was a good question.
And Kimra speaks up. And
is he willingly under the sky? Or was he put there?
Vavrin says, it's a yes and no. He is not necessarily smart enough to really say no. He has always just obeyed the will of his father and uncles. He is... I will not say he is happy to do what he is doing, but he, and obviously, as I've stated, is a little angry when he comes out. But there is a general sense of primitive, almost feral understanding of why he is there.
Warden speaks up. I did, in searching my memories, remember who he was, and he somewhat remembered me. After some talking, I will admit, he asked if I could help him in some way, so I did create a restore him.
Kira says, that was good of you. However, I will say it is likely more effective than what we have been able to do. We have made many vials and steroids and potions that, for the average being, would be incredibly boosting in their strength. However, with what limited resources we've had, the variety of these resources is very minimal.
You want to give him the hill drying strength or the fire drying strength?
Let's just stop.
Well, they probably
That would
have
probably have his
Let's just stop
strength.
this Atlas
Say
from
it
Yeah,
just
that's not an increase.
deciding he is done and dropping the sky on all of us.
Almost nothing. It would take time to fall, so someone would be able to get underneath it. It is not an immediate situation. However, it would be very dangerous. Dr.
That
Valmont,
has to be something alive.
he almost kind of goes quiet for a second, and Dr. Valmont says, likely what would have to happen is, if he did that, he would be in such a rage that many yuan he would die. Likely, the Titans would have to restrain him, if not sedate or end him, dependent on the rage, and we would have to figure something else out. I want you all to
You
know
wipe his
brain?
that would likely be an option before killing him, yes. However, that would be incredibly difficult considering his biology. But I will denote, as I can sense some apprehension. We have been here a long time. Longer than any of you have been alive, times hundreds. At a certain point, it is a question on whether you make the hardest decision or choose to let it all end. Obviously, our decision to, well, the Titans' decision to at least continue putting up a fight has somewhat paid off, as we are likely to end this soon. The Titans are more naturally good than the other high-powered beings, whether that be primordials or gods, but they are also more susceptible to mortal emotions, such as fear or a want to survive, which I'm sure you all have stories of mortals doing abominable things just to exist an extra minute.
Can I insight everything he said so far?
Sure, go ahead.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? He seems to be pretty sincere. Is there anything like particular that you're wanting insight on?
No, just the general vibe.
Just the general vibe? He seems very much like, I didn't want to have to talk about this, but at this point, it's either this or possibly knowing some of the people here, they're stupid enough to try and go confront Titans about it. So try and stop that from happening, is kind of the vibe you're getting here. Try and not excuse it, but explain it.
Zach,
Yes?
Insight, specifically, have they tried everything? Is this the last ditch effort? And not much else they can do. I rolled a 28.
What'd you say?
I rolled a 28 insight.
A 28
And
insight.
I'm the specific thing is if you want us to be like more specific, I assume.
Yeah, okay. So with that
if we can.
with that more specific question and a 28, very high roll,
19.
Trake would say everything? Probably not. But the amount of things that they could try, they probably went through 1,000 other options before landing on one that actually worked and was sustainable. And rather than continuing to do more things that would likely fail, stuck with what they found out worked.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
When it comes to the lives of not just some of the most powerful beings from before gods even were really around, but also a large portion of a considered extinct society that would be revitalized with the falling of the fold, it was not something they were going to play with to continue testing.
That makes sense. I think that definitely there's a continued apprehension of they could have tried more, they should have tried more, in his opinion. But and understanding that this is what they have now, and if it is only a few months left, then trying to find another solution is not worth it.
Yeah,
That sustaining this one is the right thing to do.
At this point, Warden is distracted.
Warden is distracted. Okay. Kimra speaks up and says, there are many things that we have tried to enhance in him, but it is starting to weaken. I'm certain me and Haskarina, or Haskrina, will be able to figure out in terms of some new concoction to revitalize his strength. I will say, however, with the lack of any divine magic here, doing something like what you did, Warden, is not plausible. For any of us, at least. And with the coming of preparing the ritual, we can only hope that we are able to both keep him alive long enough and make the ritual work.
One thing's for certain, though. At the end of all this, you gotta throw him a massive party. His thanks. He deserves it after thousands and thousands of years. Would you agree?
Dr. Varwin says, yes, I would agree. I don't necessarily know what he would want for a party. I don't necessarily even know if he won't try to kill us all.
Well, that's the thing. If you throw him a party, he won't try to kill you all. He knows you guys are thankful.
What if you just give him this, and I rummage out of my bag a small vial with some liquid in it?
What is that?
Well, if he drinks it, he stops moving. And if he stops moving in that position, the roof will never fall.
I'm not taking that.
I'm curious what should happen to Atlas after the fold is lifted.
But if Atlas turns to stone, in this position, he can't drop it.
A stone version of himself will likely not have anywhere near the strength, which will likely just cause the bar to crash down through his rocking form and crush us all underneath the benevolent weight of a very powerful old storm.
That answers your question on living objects, at least. Warden, who is still distracted, has been staring at Chase. Reading his movements, his looks, watching where his eyes go, kind of things like that. And then almost out of like the notion of like, how do I phrase this?
Oh man.
He doesn't necessarily see A6 as like a threat, but he's like, well, I mean, he just asks in his mind, A6, what do you make of him? Is he similar to us?
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll another wisdom saving throw.
Fuck.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Natural one.
Well, Warden also still doesn't know that he's trying to wisdom saving throw his way out of
help.
It's a 19.
A 19.
Better
Okay.
than it was.
Honestly, with you groaning like that, I thought it was gonna be way worse.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be way worse too, but I was like, oh, thank goodness, there's 2 digits there.
There's 2 digits there, Hog. So you sit down, and what do you ask again?
I've been kind of just observing Jace's movements and interact, like kind of like what he's been doing during this entire conversation, kind of thing.
As you ask that,
he asks A6. He's like, what did I say? I said, sorry.
what do you think of him?
Yeah. What do you? It's like, what do you like? What do you think of him? What do you make of him? Is he like us, essentially?
A6 says, he's more like me.
Well, that's not fair.
You are a creature inspired by the divine. I still haven't necessarily figured it out, but likely not the original inhabitant of this body, wink
You
wink.
know what I mean when I say us.
He is more what A6 was supposed to be. A creature designed to design, and I did not know of him. He was likely a prototype made here from the last scraps that they had. Likely as the final prototype.
He's what you should have been.
So Warden. In his head, kind of smirking, is like, so is he better than you?
That is an unfair question.
Well, you made an unfair comparison.
No.
Are we really being this petty?
That sounds
He
Warden doesn't
is.
seem as right.
He at least survived longer, so likely was able to do more and make more. And bipartisan, sure. He is better.
I didn't necessarily mean it in that comparison. Either way. Is he basically like your little brother?
Little that was well cared for. As he says that, Dr. Vogman kind of breaks through this kind of like awkward silence that's permeated while Warden's asking these questions to A6, and he says, well, do you, the rest of you, or any of you, have any other questions for us? Or anything else that we can maybe help explain? Make this a little more comfortable.
Warden silences the voice in his head, and just like kind of snaps back to and goes, "Oh shit! I've completely forgotten why I was so urgently wanting to come here." And looks at Dr. Bob and says, "Actually, I have something on a completely unrelated note."
Well, is there anything on a related note before we go to the unrelated note?
Not related to that.
I will have you know, whatever you think of us or the Titans, we've all done worse.
Very encouraging, thank you.
I know.
You're much more trustworthy to us now.
But we, at least us in the science team, with what we gave you to help you on the mission, the Titans did not know about those. We made sure of that. While we do trust the Titans as the leadership of the Overkeep Chasm, most of us were picked from a society during the Titans' rage when they heard their wives were killed. So we are the survivors of our societies that they destroyed. While we still do trust
Why
their
did
better nature.
you kill their wives? Or why did your people kill their wives?
We didn't.
It was
It was, or at least what we were told, is that it was the primordials.
remember, they want to release the primordials and take revenge and all that.
I do remember. I just didn't remember that they had killed all their wives. I thought the societies had done at least some of that.
Some servants, some marauders, servants of a creature. He did not say whether he was primordial spawn or a god, but as Mariam, servants of his came and said that some primordials, particularly Raushan, who was the praetor of the mount upon which our wives were left, or their wives were left, not mine. I did not have a wife. I did at one point. And many lovers. What kind of happens when you live a couple thousand years before you
I
get
don't
thrown into the
really
fold?
think I need to know about that, sir.
Yes.
I don't need to know where your Harry has been.
Well, Varberman is
Where
my
your
technical
Harry
name.
Robert
This
is.
is my fourth body, either way. Sheath, should I say.
Sheath deep.
Sheath deep.
Chose a body with a big.
Unrelated.
Unrelated. Now for the unrelated topic, unless there are any other questions, comments, or concerns.
He is our concern.
What's up? Yeah?
Are there other things that you want to tell us about King?
I mean, I'm sure there are. I have signed many contracts with the Primordials over time.
The NDA
Seems like a poor
contracts are
decision on your
terrible.
Fuckers NDA.
Well, it was either that or likely die. Which one would you prefer, Nari?
I don't know, have some balls.
Well, you don't have any, so shut up.
They took mine.
Dr. Brodman looks very awkwardly at you guys.
Forced gender reassignment.
I feel like I need to be eating some chips, being like Drax right now, just like.
I'm gonna be so slow and invisible to the naked eye.
It was blueberries.
Dr.
you
Brodman
fuck.
says, again, I
It
ask,
was
are there
blueberries.
any more questions? Because once I leave, I would not advise you staying here much longer. It will only be so long until they discover that you have met Atlas, upon which questions will be asked.
Oh, is it that serious?
Yeah.
You were not supposed to find it. While I
didn't.
While I highly do not expect the Titans to truly do anything harmful to you, you are not used to it, and they would be almost fearful that you would try to do something about it.
We didn't.
Actually, if anything, we helped a little bit. I tried to give him friendship.
That is fair, but they are, and I am, highly suspicious, and we are not trusting.
Fair, we don't trust you a lot either, which yeah, that calls into a lot of moral dilemmas when you think about it. Your contract gonna let you guys go. I don't know.
You
Seems
may
like you're
not-
making some mistakes here.
You may not trust us, and we may not fully trust you, but at least one thing I guess I cannot guarantee, as I do not know what the world looks like now. But I would be hard-pressed to find a world without the Titans being a better one than one with it.
You
Alright,
do not,
we'll see.
and yet you do not trust your own creations.
Are you speaking of the automatons? What do you speak of, Lord?
Do you not trust me? I
Okay.
was the one who led the other two down there. I was the one who heard the screams of Atlas.
It is in your nature, or at least your nature now. I cannot blame you for it, and the Titans would likely not either. And while you, I'm sure, would be welcome to stay, it would be simpler if you did not stay long. Maybe a discussion. A short conversation.
I mean, have we already given them all the things they need?
Yes.
Yes.
Then why are we here?
Warden hasn't exactly done the thing that he needs to do.
The whole dragon mark thing that you guys rushed here for.
The crack in my core that's seeping.
Have you talked to him about
We've-
that?
No.
No, whereas the on another note topic, he's trying to get other people to talk.
Well, you can butt in.
I'm done with
Let's
myself.
talk about it. We
Nothing
literally
else,
rushed
and I'm
here
just
to
gonna
get
roll
that
over
problem
in my
fixed.
hammock.
You know
As
what?
you
Hold
roll
on.
over and like turn to Shayla, who's sleeping in the same corner as you, she pulls down her hammock, looks at you, and goes.
Anyways, I just rolled one of my own.
I just kind of no.
I just rolled my personal decision die, and I rolled a natural 20.
My personal decision.
Jutting into the old conversation of the trust conversation,
That's why he doesn't get yours.
Warden stands up a little straighter and says, "Do you not trust us?" But almost in a thaumaturgy kind of way, because I have thaumaturgy now. In a deeper voice, "Do you not trust us?" Because he's kind of frustrated at this point that things keep getting distracted, and he's like, "I came here to talk about the fact that my armor's literally breaking." And
My
As you
dick
s-
is
and when I
cracking.
say that,
Yes, we're.
my eyes slowly shift red and then back to blue.
As you kind of say this, and it kind of like echoes around this wooden boat, Dr. Vogelman looks at you, almost perplexed, and then after a few moments, kind of like looks more down towards your chest, and his eyes kind of widen a little bit. Oh dear.
Finally.
I guess I was so distracted about the fact that you found Atlas that I did not look at you truly. That is intriguing. What happened?
Dragon.
Dragon? That does not
Dragon
at
nut.
all explain what I am seeing.
Well. Wait. I have it.
Oh my gosh.
He gobbled up Sarah's.
Gobbled up
What a that
Does
so
Nari
much
you
actually,
guys
does
said
Nari
that last
actually
session.
say
that
that?
had
Yes.
so much setup.
As you
and
said-
it
Hold on,
was so
say
hard.
it more clearly.
She can't.
It's hard.
He gobbled up Ceres' seed! Jade probably didn't hear that.
I
He just
did
played
the
the
nut button.
slightest.
Wait, he heard it.
He heard it.
It's very quiet, but I can hear it. I think that makes it
Nah,
better.
as you say that, he looks even more confused as he
Turned on.
turns and says, Warden, would you like to explain yourself?
Yeah, Warden.
In the fight against the ancient dragon, the heart of which we have delivered to
Yes.
you, Ceresus, the ancient grey dragon, lord of the hunt, yada yada. Anyways, in the midst of that fight, I was caught, clutched in his jaw, causing necrosis, but also piercing a part of my core. Something
He
that
almost looks a little concerned. Were you alright?
I did not know anything had happened to me until I
Nari's
realized
actively doing this.
the damage to my
Just
armor.
pulls his shirt apart.
It says, the damage to my armor has been irreparable up to this point, and another ancient dragon of sorts has already tried to
Not
heal
really
it.
of sorts, it is just an ancient dragon.
What?
It's a long story. Either way,
His name is Jack, he's pretty cool.
He says, "Take a seat. Let me take a look at it."
obviously there's
Yeah.
the quite literally the symbol that is heat burned into my armor. Do you happen to know ancient Draconic? As I'm sitting down.
I know some Draconic. Not much. They were not on the same continent as us when we were around.
Did I get information really about the symbols on it?
You were right next to me when Jack.
You got a
told
little
us-
bit, yeah.
Told,
Okay,
told
I was
us
trying to,
what
I
it
was
meant.
trying to remember.
You were right next to
But
us
I
when
mean,
Jack said
you're the
what it
barbarian,
meant.
so it's not like this is what it magically means. It's just like this is the symbol for pain or agony. Kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
the one in the front means awakening. The one in the back means agony.
Oh, okay.
As he kind of sits you down and begins to identify and look deeper into you, he says, "This is quite disconcerting. Has he spoken to you?"
Warden, kind of looking perplexed. What do you mean?
You know what I mean, Warden. Do not play coy with me.
So you can sense him too.
Very faintly.
Huh?
And it is... I am sensing something very similar to what I sensed when I destroyed the husk you live in. I don't know how it survived, but part of that corruption is still inside of you.
Corruption? I thought you destroyed me to prevent the corruption.
I thought I succeeded, but it was hasty, probably too hasty. Maybe it was already there. I do not know, but there is something maybe as small as a singular line of coding inside of you that is still corrupted, and I do not know if I can fix it. I can make attempts, but it will take time.
Warden is now lost in his thoughts some and is like he's like A6 didn't say anything about corruption, and he's like, I mean, even Warden was like, I'm comfortable. I'm. This guy literally started talking in my head like a day ago, but well, more than a day ago. But he's like, he didn't have any reason to necessarily doubt what he was saying because it's literally, he believed it to literally be him. Well, just A6 says he knows, but gaining a soul. Is there anything you can do about my core?
I may be able to find some repairs to be able to at least patch it shut. I can't say the same for the curse, upon which is cracking your armor. I can at least make it look normal, but it will still be weaker than it was before. Maybe not as much as it is now, but it would, again, take time, which I am in sore need of right now. I don't have enough time.
What do you mean by that?
I am preparing for the ritual. It is quite an extensive and ostentatious event that will take an extended amount of planning and preparation.
Yeah, one.
I could possibly help if you truly feel that it is something that is dangerous to you, then I will try and find time for it.
The other ancient dragon that gave his own in-depth analysis of the state of my core, I would not allow him to attempt to repair or do anything to fix the situation, given your warning on not allowing a being of lesser knowledge to be able to
That was smart of you.
even ascertain the possibilities of what could happen.
That was smart of you, Warden. And
How long would it take you to at least repair the core? Or, should I say, in your own analysis, Creator, is the crack something I should be worried about?
No, it will not spread.
Is it... Am I leaking?
No, you are not leaking.
I
There
don't
is
know
no
what a better word for it.
There is no weave energy that is trying to leave your hull, but it is just piss. It weakens the physical strength of the armor slightly, ever so slightly. But as a general rule of thumb, it is not in and of itself going to be very threatening to you. However, I will put this warning to you that Asix, if he truly is corrupted, is not at all to be trusted. The corruption caused cleaning robots to slaughter children.
Why are you laughing?
I just thought of Anakin.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just thinking of Anakin. It's got me so. He's like literally cleaning.
There were
robots.
janitorial robots in schools that slaughtered children. It was a school fucking shooting, Warden.
I'm just over here thinking of like a fucking vacuum cleaner just like sweeping up the kids. Not letting them out.
That's
They're
what I was
stuck in
basically
fucking
thinking.
endless
Just a
tornado.
child screaming as it gets pulled into the vacuum.
Ain't no normal vacuum. That's an ion
cannon.
That's an ion destabilizer vacuum. It ripped the atoms apart.
Oh no, wait, Castaway.
Limb from limb, atom from atom.
Okay.
Anyways, as soon as he says, I would not trust him, Warden's eyes go slightly, so it's a very, usually my eyes are very, very bright sky-like blue. Turns almost like a bluish violet. And Warden chuckles a little bit.
Bitch, what?
It's the second time second time you guys see me physically laugh. Anyways, chuckles a little bit, says, he said the same thing about you, Doctor.
He kind of looks at you. That does not surprise me. And it is not entirely unwarranted. He knows what few of the secrets that I have kept for many years. As I said previously, this is my fourth sheath. Sheaths being a creation that I stole from another inventor in its use after causing an accident. Before that, the Auto Initiative, an initiative in which I was an intern, seemingly died from a car crash, or a flying car, or whatever they called them. A plan between me and the man who had mentored me to that point. I was not good. I would not even consider myself now good. I was smart, I was bright, brighter than most. But I did what I needed and was one of the richest people in Dan before its fall. As the inventor of sheaths, we sold them a way to pretty much gain everlasting life, moving the soul from one autonomous creature and body and husk to another, a sheath in which a soul could enter into like a blade back into its scabbard. And we sold them to good people and to evil people, allowing them to permeate their stain onto Dan for another few hundred years. Warden, Asix is not wrong in warning you that I am not a good man. But I am honest. I can guarantee you Asix is trying to take over his body again. And if he does so, you may not be able to get it back. It won't be shared. As a corrupted creature, he will take over and he will ride it until he is able to leave it, since it is no longer his. Maybe he'll let you regain control. Maybe he'll leave this robotic husk in such squalor that it is unable to be revived. I do not know, Warden. I could maybe help you figure it out, but it is not a risk to take. Do not try to speak with him. If he tries to speak with you, do not speak to him. That only gives him opportunities to try and take control.
Oops. What's that mean? We're just like a. Not that.
At this point, Warden hears in his head, I wish upon a star to get some fucking rest.
As you hear this in your mind, Dr. Barberman continues.
Hey, the sound went out.
What'd you say?
Sorry.
The sound went out.
I can't hear you guys.
Why did...
Where's the camera he looks at? I want to fix that.
Okay. It
Honestly, actually,
I have to go. It's 8:30. Looks like you guys are closing up too. I will see you guys probably in person next week.
Okay. Okay, see you.
Ciao.
In person.
Bye. I don't know why he can't hear me.
I don't know.
Everything's working on my end.
It's on his end. He's a little spent sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
Also, I have like 3 paragraphs of notes for Vorsh for
Nice.
time skip, and then things like right after the session.
Yeah, Warden will come out and we'll probably do closing notes. Or closing conversation.
Do you think this will be the time skip session?
Yes. Unless all of you guys have something you wish to partake in, like going back and talking to the Primordial or to the Titans or something like that. Gorsh is going to try and stay in the
He
fold.
is not leaving the fold.
Okay. So
I would like to get the fuck out of the fold.
I want better weapons,
Second.
and I have materials to
Second.
make better weapons.
I need to.
I will
I have a
find a
business
place
to
to
start
make
in
better
the meantime.
I have
weapons.
adamantine.
Not
So-
second.
Okay, I will say it is a very, very, very high likelihood that our next session will be after the time skip. Which may be next week, it might be the week after, depending on how much I'm able to do preparation. So, Warden, we are doing closing conversational notes. So is there anything else you want to have with Bogman or
The
Jace
only
or-
Warden's eyes shift back to his bright blue, but in the midst of all of this stuff Bogman's been saying, but
What, Dr. Gafferman? God damn.
if you were in my circumstances, what would you do?
I would be careful. I would limit any connection or conversation with ASICS as much as possible, and I would only use anything he has offered in times of absolute necessity. Do you understand, Warden? Do you intend to take the advice, or are you just asking so you can go piss off and A6 will roam again?
Are you afraid of A6?
I don't know how to answer that, Warden. I barely got to see what he could do without an insane lust for the death of mortal races.
That's crazy.
In terms of what he can do, it could be catastrophic. What he will do, I don't know. He seems only minorly affected by the corruption, but I saw what some of those things did, and I still see them when I close my eyes.
I'm not saying that. That's me personally. That's Claire, not Nari.
Nari's like, even I'm not gonna stoop that low.
You at least say
No, Nari's thinking it. She's just not gonna
Over the
say
Rocky
it.
Talkies, you're thinking?
Actually, probably.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to bomb!
You unplugged me. Okay.
He's just gonna make him a bomb.
Okay, yes.
Plugged into this. I'm back in now. I don't know
Yes,
what's
this
going on.
Hey, let's end the
Anyway,
session.
sorry. Yeah, let's end this.
He's literally made of uranium.
I don't know if Warden would know this information. You can just say he would. But anyways, did you create all automatons?
The Auto Initiative, in which me and as an intern and my compatriots, we were the first to create a completely sentient automatic life. Not sapient by any means, as of course that is part of what the corruption was doing, but yes and no. Was I the first to ever create it? I was a part of it. Was ashamedly my name mostly connected with it because the rest of the initiative died? Yes.
Did you ever expect one of your creations, or should I say one of the pinnacles of your creations, to gain not one but 2 souls? Did he detect the other soul?
Yes.
Okay.
Warden, I don't mean to be mean in saying this, but A6 was not a pinnacle of my creation.
What Jace was?
Do you actually say that? Yeah. He was one of them.
I'm gonna side-eye Jace real hard.
Jace kind of
Bombastic
awkwardly-
side-eye.
Jace is awkwardly like shrunk in the corner by his last like anti-divination rune.
As you should.
Dr. Rodman says, A6 was not by no means a failure. He was a success in what he was intended to be, but he was not the greatest of the creations we made.
Was he not? He was not fully developed.
A6 was, yes, somewhat still of a work in progress, which that is why Jace is more the finished product of what A6 was supposed to be, and that type of automaton was supposed to be. No. To answer your question, I never expected this sort of thing to occur where 2 souls inhabited the body, which makes me very curious of what the Windalians did to the husk that they found to put a soul in there, since you are not A6's soul. But that is a question for them after we have kicked them off this continent, yes?
Indeed.
And that is far, far away. As again, if you wish for me to help you in some regard to your issue, I can at least try to silence A6's ability to communicate with you unless you initiate it. And that I could likely do swiftly, but anything else would take time.
They realized the room was black.
Before he responds, Warden is. I'm sorry, I'm taking up all your guys' time.
We're paid by the
Y'all
hour.
were fucking around for so long. Anyways,
Come on.
Okay. Warden asks A6 one more question. What are your intentions?
First of all, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
God, I swear to
This will be the
God,
one.
I
If you
swear.
If this one
I
fails,
swear.
I'm gonna die
This
laughing.
roll determines
You
if there's a
get
time skip.
warned every single
Roll
thing,
determines
and
if
you
there's a
fuck
time
this
skip.
up, I will
Cut it.
actually be angry.
Looks like we're
No.
not time jumping. We're gonna roll initiative.
Fuck. You guys have 3 immensely powerful scientists on your side. This would not be a battle.
Oh, thank goodness, it's double digits. You guys are so lucky that I've been rolling.
Answer. What's your roll?
23.
23.
Double digits after
A6
modifier.
responds. I am merely here because you killed a dragon. My intentions are to hopefully eventually have a body, whether it's this one or another, but I do not wish to overpower you to get it. I am.
What a liar!
I'm
What a
actively
little bit!
trying to overpower them.
Look, this is gonna have to be like an insight check.
Yeah, he just doesn't even know he's kind of get overpowered though.
There
Wow.
is
Now
a-
he does.
There is a fair amount of power that I can offer you due to the dragon's essence being inside of you now. I can help you. I hear that
Don't even
this
say
revolution
it.
that you're trying to do, you can have more power for it.
Don't say it.
You're not in this
I'm
conversation.
just curious about something. I just have a question.
We'll answer it after.
Wait until the notes are
Would you like to roll an insight check?
Is Warden pregnant?
No.
Brigandina.
It's Morgan Preganinant.
Brigante.
I'll let you go ahead and roll this at advantage due to the warning from Dr. Robberman.
Nice. That's a natural 20.
Oh,
A natural 20.
let's fucking go.
What do you
Let's
what's your
roll.
Which equals a 28,
20,
correct?
yes.
It is apparent to you that A6, while not straight line through his teeth, is in some regards. It does seem like he has been trying to take over the body. Now,
So is Warden just now realizing that every time he's talked to him, he's been trying to take over the body?
yes. In that same regard, it is because he wants his own form, which, by all intents and purposes, is technically reasonable. However, to want your own body, to not be a
no, yeah,
backseat
obviously.
driver. He is not lying about being more than willing to offer you power and some of the things that he has capabilities to do that would allow you to do them.
Like murdering children.
Like murdering children.
One can dream.
One can dream. What else has he said? He very much does want his own form, and that is obvious to tell from you now. You don't know what that purpose is, but you would assume it has nothing to do with you. Do you have a response? Just
Barman.
to the information you have just received.
Okay, sounds good. Warden responds to Boberman, saying,
Saying fuck.
Uh,
Fuck you. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
Huh.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck. Okay, we bought you
all
plenty
he
of time.
asks, all he asks is, do I have a failsafe?
I could likely reactivate it. I deactivated it when we destroyed you.
Activate it. And give me the knowledge of how to use it.
Give someone else also the knowledge to use it. If we're gonna be real, that's the wisest course of action.
That is wise. I can make that happen, Gordon. I hope it would not come to that.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered Gordon has had his wig on this whole time.
Gordon has had his wig on this whole time.
Robert has not said a damn thing about it.
He also has his suit. He also has his
No,
suit
Gordon
on.
doesn't give a
I took
fuck.
my suit off.
He took
My
his
suit
suit off.
Oh, fuck you.
It
And
doesn't
with
match
that,
his
are off.
with that last decision,
His leg is
unless
off.
you guys have any last notes to say,
Nope.
we are going to go ahead and end the session here. We are going to go ahead and pick up approximately 5 months, or what will be 15 days, before the release of the Titans.
Okay.
Okay. Before the ritual.
Before the end of the ritual. Yes.
what
Because the
level?
ritual's a month long. What?
What
Yeah.
level?
We will be level 15
Okay.
coming out of it.
What do I need
Level
to roll
what?
to have had
15.
15? Dope.
We gained 3 levels.
You guys gained 3 levels in 5 months. You guys have gained
Far more.
9 levels in 2, so
That's
So
fair.
really, I should be level 20 right
What
now.
do I need to roll to have
we
my
will discuss
business
this. We will
started?
discuss this.
Okay.
I will be messaging all of
I was
you
gonna say,
guys
yeah.
We
about
will-
what we're talking about.
We'll definitely talk in Discord about mine. Mine's,
Yeah. A little bit longer.
I have I've written like 4 paragraphs during this session.
Mother of God.
It is most likely
Child.
to involve the sheets now that I know about those.
Jeez. He might not be able to make that.
It's not to make. If not, I have plans.
Okay.
I drove myself.
Well, either way, hope you guys had fun.
Both go.
Hope you guys are intrigued by some of the information you got and some of the moral dilemmas.
Moral dilemmas. There is no
That's
moral
fine.
question here.
There is no moral.
There is no
No,
moral.
I'm not saying it's bad.
I'm just saying morals aren't here.
So yeah, I will hopefully see you guys next week.